Long ago, there was a people called the Bani Israel, and they lived in Egypt. They had a tyrant king, a man who was ruthless, among the worst people who ever lived. His name was Firaun. Now, Prophet Musa alayhi salam was sent to the Bani Israel, and his goal was to free them from the captivity of this terrible ruler. Now, a day finally came when Prophet Musa alayhi salam tells the Bani Israel, it's time for us to leave Egypt. And it's not just men like me, no. It's boys and girls and grandmas and grandpas and people who are sick and everyone. They grab whatever little bit they can and they leave their homes. They're excited because they're leaving the Firaun, this man who used to terrorize them. From morning until evening, he would force them to work. The Firaun was so bad that when some of the boys were born, he would kill them. So the Bani Israel were happy and jubilant as they were leaving, but that feeling soon began to fade. Time came when they could walk no further because they ran into a sea of water. Now, as the people were walking behind Prophet Musa alayhi salam, their leader, and they run into this sea of water, people begin to scratch their heads. Are we really on the right path? Does this prophet actually know where he was going? If he's a prophet from God, why would we be lost? And as the people began to feel doubt and fear, they began to hear the earth shaking, as if it was like an earthquake. And they think to themselves, Allahu Akbar, what is that? Why is the earth shaking? And they look behind, and as they look behind, they see a cloud of dust, and emerging from that cloud of dust is the Firaun, that tyrant leader, riding on a horse with an entire army behind him who've got their swords out, their bows and their arrows, their spears. In that moment, people began to worry. They said, this is it. We're all going to die. We have no hope. On the one hand, there was a sea of water. On the other hand, there was the Firaun's army, and the Bani Israel were trapped in the middle. They said, this is it. We're all going to die. But in that moment, when everyone had lost hope, one man continued to believe. Prophet Musa alayhi salam. He raised his hands. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes it. He says, Kalla ya Rabbi, no, my Lord. And just by saying this, a voice came from the heavens. It said, O Musa, take your stick and strike it against the ground. And that's what Prophet Musa alayhi salam did. And in that moment, the Quran describes it, that from the sea, there were two mountains that emerged. And because those two mountains emerged, the Bani Israel had a safe passage, and they were safe. Now here's the thing. Lots of times when it comes to prayer, we're not so different than the Bani Israel. We find ourselves in a situation. Maybe a mom or a dad lost their job. Maybe a grandma or grandpa is sick. And we think, oh no, there's no hope. What can we do? But through this story, we learn that just like Prophet Musa alayhi salam had hope, we need to have hope too. And when the going gets tough, our prayers need to get going.